Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Steven and I am saving you from having to listen to more bagpipe music. Today's beer, of course, is a WeeHeavy, better known as a ScotchAle, or maybe it's a ScotchAle, better known as a WeeHeavy. Either way, that's what I'm making. Before I get started, though, I have something to drink here today, not related, but this is 19 Acres Cider Company Imperial Hard Cider, Oregon Heritage Farms. My buddy at work, Murray, thanks Murray, gave me this to try. Imperial cider, it's 9%. And anytime you get over 5% on a cider, things get kind of hairy. So let's see what it tastes like. It's not bad. It's dry, but not bitter. Like, it's sweet, but somehow still dry. It's not bad. I like it. I do like it a lot. All right, let's get moving here. Actually, before I get started and go over the grain bill real quick, if you're new to the channel or you're returning, if you're into home brewing, brewing beer, that sort of stuff, if you want to help support my channel, please consider becoming a subscriber. It doesn't cost anything. You just have to click the subscribe button at the bottom of the window and turn on your notification bell, and that way you'll get notified every time I put out a new video. That's all. All right, so let's get to the grains, shall we? So first up, I have the base malt, 12.67 pounds of American Pale Ale. That's, yeah, around 3.5 Lovibond. Followed by Mr. Munich, my favorite malt, 2.35 pounds of Munich, should be around 6 to 10 Lovibond. Then we have 2.10 pounds of American, well, it doesn't have to be American, I don't know why I said that, any kind of caramel or crystal malt, as long as it's around 10 Lovibond, it will do. 0.57 pounds of Brewers Torrified wheat. So torrified means it's gelatinized, which means you don't need to mill it. If you mill it, it's just going to cause it to get really like goopy and really could cause a stuck sparge. So if it's torrified anything, you don't need to mill it. 0.48 pounds of American black malt. I don't know if I got American black malt. Maybe I did. I think I got Breeze. Anyway, whatever's on your screen, 500 Lovibond for that black malt. Followed by 0.18 pounds of roasted barley. This Lovibond is going to vary because roasted barley, it depends on where you buy it and what company you're buying it from. Around 340 Lovibond is an average, but you might have a little less or a little higher. In fact, mine is, I think, a little lower than that. And then finally, I have about a pound of Carapils, which is a dextrin malt that just basically helps with mouthfeel and head retention. It's not a requirement. You don't have to put that in. I just do that because why not? But generally, you put about 5% of your grain bill as a dextrin malt if you're wanting to try that out. And of course, you know, a couple handfuls of rice hulls as well help to keep the liquid flowing through the grain bed as you're mashing. All right, so you're gonna put that all in the main grain mill. And mill it up so it's nice and fine depending on what you're looking for. I like mine really fine because I'm doing brew in a bag and I don't have to worry as much about stuck sparges. And once that's done, let's head over to the mash kettle and we'll go ahead and get mashed in. All right, everybody, it's time to mash in. We're doing 156 Fahrenheit for the temperature, and I'll put the Celsius on the screen for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in the grain, mix it really well so nothing is left that's dry, no dough balls, and then I will be back in an hour to drain the grain.
One hour later.
All right, guys, you know what time it is. It's time to drain your grain. Drain the main grain. Let's get it done. So, guys, well, I get this grain drained. Oh, I forgot how much grain was in here. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Come on, break the seal. Oh, hang on. This just ain't my day. This just ain't my day. Alright guys, this is going to be a tough one because it is super heavy. And there we go. That's a lot of grain. Alright, I'm going to let this grain drain. I'm going to get a reading and start heating it up for the boil. And I'll be back for the first hop addition. While I do that, for your entertainment, I'm going to play a little video. If you're not careful and you forget to close your clamps where the hoses go, even when you turn off the pump, your wort comes shooting out, and it never just comes out gently. It literally, it just shoots across your entire kitchen, down all your cabinets. So I spent the last hour mopping and cleaning, and it's going to take a while to get that cleaned up, and I lost some of the beer. But have fun watching this, and I'll be back when it's at a boil and the first edition. Oh, what? Son of a bitch. Alright guys, we're just about out of boil, so I got 1.6 ounces of East Kent Goldings going in here at the 60-minute mark, and we'll let that go, and I'll be back at the 50-minute mark for the final edition. Alright folks, we're at the last 10-minute edition. That's 3/4 of an ounce, so 0.75 of East Kent Goldings going in, and in 10 minutes I'll be back for the cool down. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer the wort into my fermenter. I'd say it's about 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I will be back in just a second once it's full to aerate it and pitch the yeast. Alright guys, so this is the tricky part now that I've got it transferred and somewhat tightened down, is shaking the bejesus out of it to get the thing aerated. Don't have to go too crazy with this, but yeast sure does love oxygen, so at least at the beginning, I should say. Alright, it's yeast time folks. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera. Usually it reflects pretty bad, but this is Mangrove Jack's Empire Ale Yeast M15. And I'm going to pitch 2 of these because this is a high gravity beer. And it's probably good just to be safe. And make sure you pitch enough yeast when you have a high gravity beer like this. Oh, I was just saying how ScotchAle doesn't ever have these easy opens, but here I am struggling with an easy open. What do you know? All right, we're done. I'm going to go ahead and set this in the fermentation chamber for 30 days, and then I'll be back, and we'll go from there. So see you in about a month. Well, welcome, you've made it. It's the end of the line. You're here. Congratulations. So here's where we're at. We'll go through this real quickly. Well, initially here, just so you can see, there's really not much of head retention. There's a little bit of like foam on it after I poured it, and I can't stir it too much. There's some, but not a lot. Not a lot. I'm not going to lie. This yeast pooped out on me. I've never used this yeast before. Mangrove Jack, Empire Ale, M15. I think maybe I used too much. For 3-gallon batch, I used 2 packets. I probably should have used 1 because it's a high, you know, a high gravity beer. I thought it was going to need more. But considering I only did 3 gallons, that was probably a mistake. But it could be just this yeast is just not a great yeast. I don't know. I can put up the measurement if you want. Final gravity was 1036. And that's just within the range of being a WeeHeavy. Just barely. But a little disappointed with the head retention. That's not a good sign. Well, let's see. I mean, it smells exactly how I would expect for something that finished at 1036. Very malty. And I don't smell much off flavors or anything. Let's take a taste. It's not finished carbonating, that's for sure. And that's probably why the head retention is low. So, I mean, that makes me happy, but at the same time, man, I wish it was carbonated because it is really good. So, there you go. It's very smooth, I can tell. It just needs more carbonation. No off flavors at all. This is going to be great once it's carbonated in a couple of days here. So looking forward to that, and recipe in the description as always. I will see you in a week for another video, and until then, thanks for watching and keep on brewing.